I didn't realize how much glare it causes.
Are you okay there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Need lighting?
No.
Okay.
It's perfect. I have a plant framed, like, right in with me. So.
I'll run out. I won't, like, bother you. Well.
Don't worry. We'll be here.
Okay.
We'll be here. No big, no big. Not that I need it, but. Jen the Penny Pen. Hello, hello. Idiot My Sandwich. Hello, LA. Thank you. Hi, Misty. Amarita. Jessica. How's everybody doing? Hello, Andy. How are you? How are you? Hey, Corey. What's up? Cassandra. Hello, hello. Wendy. Marie. Hello. Miranda. Hello. Just letting everybody get settled in a little bit. Give it a little while before we jump into some bulleted. Haven't caught a live in forever. I know, Jessica. Well, you're here. You're here. We're all here. So, Misanthropic Lightworker, hello. Happy Saturday, Ponderous Bros. Do you too? Nissa, yeah, the live. We don't usually do. Foodie Beauty lives are, Coffee Talk lives are a little bit different. They're not as structured. They're more chatty. Hence the reason I would offer one. Things have been busy. They've been busy in every area of life. But how can I let another week go by without at least sharing some thoughts about the things that she did and the things that are going on? So I was able to do that. So we'll see. And usually folks who have the latest gossip pop in, even if something comes up on Twitter. So I wanted to have it be a little discussion about her shortcomings. Her shortcomings and the distractions that she's been into. Ashimation, terrible cold. Oh, well, good. Doze off to us, and then, like, if you want to, watch the rest later. I don't know how anybody can watch those 4-hour lives. I use the archives. And then watch probably, I don't know, a third to a half of it, and try to jump around, get a feel for the kind of place she's in, because you can't always get your own cold read looking at a video if you're watching someone else's editing. So, but that's why I supplement it with that. Yes, Troll Detective hot topic. I think it's a fucking riot. I think it's funny. Just started a Representative video 10 minutes ago. Well, I know nothing about him. Well, I didn't think it would change any proof about me. I heard it's quite good. I've heard it's good. I'm only in a bit of the way through. But I heard it's rather timely. Yeah, calendar page. It is too much. I frankly, we use a few pictures and maybe a little video here and there. And that's not for copyright's sake. I don't think Foodie Beauty... I don't think I'm on her radar as the next big thing she has to be worried about. But, I don't want to step on too many toes. People can take certain amounts of videos and make other videos. That happens. We always agree when we post a video, it says, allow this to be used for shorts or something. I don't know. Hey, Nicole, Corey. Timely. Hey, April, I'm doing good, thank you. Happy Saturday to you. I have a cat coming. He's either going to jump in my lap or knock the tripod over. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Kurt Wagner, hello, how are you? Doing good, doing good. Trying to stay on my game. There's a lot happening this weekend. I've had people in and out because we've had problems with a leak in the bathroom, which turned into a leak in the ceiling, which turned into just part of the ceiling hitting the floor. So we were dealing with that today. So we already had one pro here plus another. And then my parents are coming down tomorrow. And, oh, thanks, Corey. We're going to probably have some wedding stuff to do. I have to go over the guest list again. So you'd rather hear wedding plans? Well, thank you. Frankly, I'd rather talk about them. But I didn't invite people here to talk about me. That's, that's Sundays where it's me, and sort of Mark. Thanks, Christine. Guess whose it is? Guess whose the plan is? And guess who wanted it there 3 minutes before going live? Because he thought it would add something. Just because he was right. Yeah, that's not Fernando. It's, We'll just call it a relative of Fernando. About that. Checked your Amazon. Your package should be there. They said they left it at the door. We did get one today. Actually, calendar. We did. We're holding it aside. Anybody who has sent a gift as a gift for the wedding, whether it's family, friends, online friends, friends from whatever it is, we're keeping them in one giant pile in the house. So we're just putting those. That's our box mountain, but it's not empty boxes. It's not opened yet. Boxes. Does he name all the plants? Not all of them. Fernando had a name that I picked the name Fernando. The other ones he doesn't name, but he sure as hell talks to. In the morning, he'll get up and spritz all the ones in the bathroom, and then in the bedroom, and then in the living room. Andy B. Hello, hello. Studio space looks really wonderful. It's so zen, while remaining a workspace. All the work you put into it was worth it. It's still a work in progress. Yeah, it's supposed to help plants grow when you chit-chat with them. I guess. I don't know. I love the fact that Mark likes to decorate and put plants up because I couldn't be bothered. And I like living in a well-decorated home, but I have somewhere between no taste and no interest. Like that. Like if they made Garanimals for adults, I'd probably buy them because it's just one less thing. It's a little chilly, but it's not terrible. Andy. Not awful. Probably in 70s or so. We're supposed to hit 80 degrees next week, and then it's going to look a little more like fall here. We usually get what they would call Indian summer, or what's usually referred to as it, at least around here. That it's that late blast of heat that you get at the end of summer coming into fall. So we'll see. Just by the time I get all my pants out, put all the shorts away, there'll be a few days where you could probably swim and hang out. So they do. Yeah, I don't know. I guess they do. I guess they do. So since we didn't meet to go over, we didn't talk about anything that happened to the week up to here. So I went back a few days and tried to stitch together. None of the themes are super different except her getting raked over the coals, being mad about it, and all of it making sense. It reminds me of the other documentary that was out, and it came out a couple years ago, and it did the same thing. It pulled a lot of primary archival stuff to make the point that was being made about any accusation about Foodie that she kind of... I mean, I love evidence. Evidence is... It is neither good nor bad, it just is. It just shows what is there. So, moving your get-ready room... We could make the bedroom a get-ready room. But of course we'd have to sleep in the kitchen. I don't know how I know about sleeping in the kitchen. So... there were so many things this week that kind of caught me off guard. Let me run through a few here, and then we'll kind of dip back and look. So, the Little Pickle video, that was new. Anyone see her eating a jar of olives? Doused in golden Italian dressing? Throwing caution to... It's inspiring in a way. It really is. So, it's one of the things... I was watching because she had a bit of gluttony this week. She ate at home, and she was eating a lot of crap food. And disgusting combinations that are just meant to get a rise. Who takes a chug of Italian dressing? They're just doing it for attention. Give me flashbacks of chugging gravy. But watching that, and then she's in the middle of it, I don't mean to make this I'm not knocking her, but it gets somewhere, I promise. She's on camera, farting, snorting, pulling her clothes up, falling out of her clothes, looking like she picked them off the floor from a few weeks ago, and talks about people of size, as though the only reason people would be unattracted to her is that. Natter and Dee Dee exposed. I used to like Dee Dee. But April, how are you? Hello, everyone. Hello. Like anything with Chantal and the video that was out, she loves it. She always loves it. She gets reamed out by someone with a big channel every 9 months or so. Someone comes out with something well documented, a lot of details. And she got dragged into it. She could have shut up. She could have shut her mouth, but he was dealing with Natter. But she put herself on the radar for... Sorry, you're mad about it. I don't care. Anything shocking? Nothing shocking anymore. Really. So, that was the... We'll have some look. If Mark's here, we'll take a look at what's on Twitter, like, towards the end, to see what's happening in real time. But coming up this week, she didn't... we talked more about her men. She had men. The Sam's video got her fired from her job. I'd kick him out. Dee Dee's motives probably would only make sense to Chantal. And that's saying something. If the only person who would raise their hand and say, I see it from your side, Dee Dee, Chantal would be the one. She'd also still take his place. Her place. But if Mark got me fired from my job and he didn't have one, there'd be problems. That would be bad. I would be pissed. He's leaving. He's here. He's leaving. He has an appointment. A friend he has to meet. So, hopefully he comes back with food and cigarettes. That would be my hope. So, I was going through, and the thing about her, let me triple back, about being a large person and saying all these things about herself. What, fat people can't do that? Like I said, not every fat person does that. She's not advocating for people of size by ripping ass into the camera. That doesn't do it. His famous YouTuber chef. Chantal gets almost everything wrong. But when she went down the list of things she said, which indicted her, and exposed her because she said she had made his entire channel. This was like going into last week, coming into now. That she had made his entire channel. I did this. I sent my subs over there. I did the editing. I made the thumbnails. I got the pin from YouTube to do all that. And that was apparently none of that had to do with the idea of platforming him. Chantal was going to die on the hill of semantics. That he signed up for his own YouTube account. And anything she did after had nothing to do with anything. She thinks she's prettier than 90% of us, I know. Rep Senor was eye-opening for me. I've only ever seen the story through the reactions. A lot of stuff missed. There always is. There's stuff that'll get pulled. Like, people will make points about her that were made 2 to 3 years ago. So, the toxic spreading. Yeah. It is. Stay home and eat your food. Don't bother nobody. Hey, Ladybird, how are you? Yeah, I had a cat trying to jump into my lap too. So I'm trying to keep him at bay. He went this way and then he goes this way. So, oh good, Mick. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's good. But I titled Distractions from Distractions from Distractions. Chantal's pretty good at running interference to try to throw out a smoke bomb so everyone disappears stage left. And then she'll throw out another one if that one gets too hot. So, I mean, obviously lying's not new to her, but it gets exposed wildly. And the stories about the three of them, Dee Dee, Natter, and Chantal. I'm gonna call myself naive. I didn't suspect as much as was shown. Husky Mix is napping. Oh good, after morning hike. 6 o'clock here, morning hike. Folgers medium roast black. I'm having water with orange Mio in it because I'm still trying to get... I don't want to be big for my wedding. I want to feel good about how I look. And that doesn't mean I need to get to an unhealthy weight. But, you know, he was abusive to her before she helped him start the channel. It's in her videos. Oh, thank you, Milk Tea. The wedding stuff is fun. It's not about doxing and farting and all that stuff. It's just talking about... That's the real life stuff that got this cut short. So, thank you, Andy. I lost 19 point something pounds since July. You know, it's been very slow. I love Cafe Bustelo, Mick. It's on the more expensive side in our area, too. Can't believe everything going on lately from the most unenthusiastically ever. Yeah. That, seeing your apartment shape up. Thank you, Milk Tea. It's coming along. You can thank Mark. We'd be living in a cube with no decorations at all. Nothing on the wall but a nail or two to hang my coat on. So that's how we get on here. He handles most of it. Listening while I'm lasering my dog's back after her working. To sort your place? I would think you're pretty travel savvy since you travel for work. I wouldn't be even if I traveled for work. So Green Mountain Roasters. Holla. Holla. Thank you, Corey. I should have said, fuck Chantal, let's just all sit around and talk about my wedding. But that's kind of deceptive to people who saw the title and came here because it was a video about her and her stuff during the week. So, okay. New places, what do you, I'd rather hear that. Well, let me get through some of the points I wanted to make and pull out. And then if we have extra time, which we'll have extra time, we'll go back to it. Now, the rising is still playing out. I think it's a riot. Are you still doing intermittent fasting, Steve? Yes, I'm doing, I went back to doing OMAD, 1 meal a day. And it works for me. It helps. Now, the thing with intermittent fasting, as far as my understanding, was that it's about when you eat, not what you eat. So if you're only eating once a day, but eating 4,000 calories, you'll still get fat. Sometimes you can't escape the math of it. There's other things that have factors with it, but I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise if that's kind of what blew her up. It would blow me up when I would eat all day. So we eat late, we dine continental, and, you know, hey Sharon, how are you? I'm doing good. So, let me get through the coffee talk stuff, and then we'll talk about something else. Because there was a couple things that jumped out at me, and I just wanted to address those. The Chantal having many men's thing. Going through this week, there were half a dozen men, 2 men, no men. She was going to Montreal for what? How? Where was she apartment hunting? The new guy who's from Mexico? The guy who came and left? She's pretending to have these men. I suppose. Now, I was kind of a fat adult, you know, and I can attest for the fact that people like, we'll say her and I, because I can't talk about you, will take any attention you can get when you stand out in that way. It's not, you know, someone either has to love you for who you are, looks aside, or they have to actually like women of size to get into the relationship. For the relationship for them, that's a big deal. So depends who you're running into. You know, I could pull a few 70-year-old guys with fat fetishes for loose skin and 40-year-olds. And if that's the only pool I'm looking at, I could pull half a dozen guys too. But people with quality lives, employment, otherwise financially stable, somewhere to live, somewhere maybe they even own it, don't rent it. But people like that wouldn't want like anything to do with her because they have their life together. Nobody in a position like that would look at her in her filthy house filming and say she's, you know, money isn't everything. She'll find it out, but it's not my lesson to give. I'm just shouting from the sidelines, but don't think her allowed that with Pete's. Well, Pete's is supposed to be coming with her. That was my last understanding, that Pete's, well, she found a new place, she says. First, she found a new place, and it was all a done deal until she disclosed that Pete's had never seen the place, and she hadn't signed a lease at the time. So she was, like, super duper ready to go. Now, she's supposed to be moving to somewhere suburban Montreal, from what I gathered. She says not Lachine. She says not where Natter is. But how conspicuous, you know, if I could have 10 guys, if my standards were low enough. Exactly. I could go trolling at the bars and bring home somebody, I'm sure, and they'd be like, she goes down and like, I'm stunned. I feel like there's only so many men in the world that could like someone like that, and she's running out. She's gonna have to pace herself if she wants to feel interesting. So the many, many men, which I think are many, many lies, for the most part, is because she wants to feel special. She wants to get a little kite to natter that she's on the market and doing great. And if you're jealous, eat your heart out, from Melissa. Chantal also doxed herself. Not herself, excuse me. She doxed all of her like crap accounts that she goes on and talks to other people with. She was on her phone trying to make a point, trying to be cool, and she's going like this. And she shows it here once, and she pulls it back. And then she's switching profiles, she says. And then, you know, like there's... If they didn't run away screaming at the beginning of the initial encounter. Yeah, as soon as she showed up and was not looking like the picture, it's not unreasonable for the, once she never sees them again. I know how fat fishing works. You make it sound like you're a wanton, obvious slut out for passion, and you hope that'll override the fact that you've not told them about the 150 pounds of extra weight that's there. I went to college with guys. I was in high school with guys. I know what guys think. I know what guys talk about. I date guys. It's all of that. So I can understand some of their motives, and I can't see how she doesn't. Like, if I totally lied about how I looked, like, it's like an age composite of what her filtered pictures look like up to current day. It's like, have you seen this woman? She's going to lie on the government for you to... Messi would be gone. It was the news again this week. Please read. Will do. Will do. And then she originally wasn't going to take Pete's, but now she says it's decided. Because she ruined his credit for life. It's the least I can do. S-Jam doesn't like heavier women. That's not a phobia, and that's not a hate. It's a preference. Like, if he didn't like people with red hair. Chantal's not the brightest bulb on the tree. Not so much. I have to give Chantal this, because I wouldn't say she's smart, but she's cunning and kind of manipulative. It's all geared towards that. But at the end, she's a star. She's a fashion model. All of it. I'm not seeing a guy with a few extra pounds, not a problem, but it's willful deception. Exactly. That'd be like if you changed your hair or skin color or something like that, and then had the nerve to be upset at a guy who, when he opened the door, they looked nothing like the picture they had gotten. She could write it off as shallow for herself and say, oh, they were just not... I can find a man who loves a big man. When? Between buying groceries for two people you don't like, or what? Offended when she said S-Jam doesn't like bigger women. It's like she wants him to want her. She wants to, yeah. She would love for someone to like her more than she likes them, but it's clinically probably impossible to do. Jean and Jen, that gave, yeah. Oh God. Oh, R.I.P. I don't know if you guys saw in the weeks that have passed, Life by Jen has passed away, if you don't watch any other channels. And she was an extended YouTube texting buddy friend. So, yes, I saw the handiwork from Dee Dee. If that was a private video sent to Chantal just to torture her, it would be one thing. But it says something about the both of them that happened, that went on. I wouldn't touch either of them. Even in... No. I'd sleep with Dee Dee before Natter, myself. That's just saying. He's a little thin. We all want Chantal. It's kind of... It says to me she knows she's a little pathetic. And she tries to laugh it off when she does her, oh God, I'm just desperate. Just kidding. We all know when she says just kidding, she meant exactly what she said before that. Whether it was a comment about someone's skin color or the country they're from. So, heard they'd make a cute couple, but she's too good. She's too good for all of us. And then shows up on panel discussions, gets reamed a new one. Foodie Beauty is cringy. I wish that she would stop chasing the men and learn to be comfortable with herself. I want that for her too, Christine, but that's not what she wants. Yeah, she can't find a man. Well, she sleeps around. I mean, so, what do? I sit at home and trap men into relationships. If they said that on the first date, I'd leave. And don't believe what she says. You will end up on camera. She'll go to the ER to distract from the video. I want to say that's too predictable, but sometimes she is too. That she might... Comments are going to go off. Comments are going to go off. So, there'll be only other people to chat with and see what's going on. So, 2020 was our break from men. The good old days. Says she has no empathy for Dee Dee. Makes her look like a... She's no empath. Chantal's no empath, and she's not doing Dee Dee any favors or a strike for womanhood by repeatedly showing her the guy she used to be with is bad. Especially when she comes across saying, I'm still in this abusive relationship. It's the way that keeps going. It's like, as long as you grieve somebody, they're not really all the way gone, like after a passing. They're not really broken up as long as they never have that we broke up discussion. And she still carries a torch for dude. So, best song for Chantal is Me, 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 Me. Yeah, why can't Chantal sing? Because she only knows one note. Me, 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 Me. The SJM thing, I remember looking at, it looks like, it could be her brother. It could be her brother. They look, so similar. Chantopolis, however it's spelled, has been bonkers. It's, yeah. Hey, Patricia, how are you? So over the anguish at Dee Dee, be mad at Nats. Yeah, Chantal's still mad at Dee Dee because Dee Dee took her toys away. And she didn't even have to try that hard. Tells you about commitment. Yes. Funkle toy. Hi, Jay. How are you doing? Good to see you. She walked, absolutely. I absolutely believe she brought food for him the other day. Because she gave it her, the eyebrows go up a hair, and then she looks down. She got caught in a lie during them. And she looks down, pretends to fix her hat, goes this way, says whatever she's going to say, and then looks up to see if it's believable. There's some other channels I used to watch about that. Yeah, it does have a lot of views. He better use them wisely. He's going to be gone. Natter's just, how do you say this? A bitch. When it comes to people talking about him. He gets sucked into gossip like old lady. Just bitty, 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 and in between gets hands jobs. Who are these people? What am I doing with my life watching? What are you doing here? I don't know. It's hard to say. Hard to say. So we had her men, the many, many men. The filters were slipping out of place a little this week. That was it. I would not miss Natter. I've watched Mary Cab's videos, Mary MC, of her reacting to his cooking. And those I liked very much. I didn't care for the striking spree for copyright by people. Like, just because your tender parts are hurt, it doesn't mean that it's against TOS or that it's against the law. Chantal and Natter need that lesson. Just because you're upset doesn't mean the other person did anything illegal or that another person wouldn't do in the same position. It's not Fernando J. This is John Doe. He doesn't have a name yet. She doesn't have a name yet. So, we'll see. So the filters, I don't believe. It, like I said, it looks like a progression this way to this way in aging. Do my best to avoid all this content. I only see... It's tough. I'm only touched into him with the reactions and what it has to do with Chantal. The rest of his life, I wouldn't care how he's doing. And the reason I'm interested in him and know who he is because Chantal platformed him, told all of us all about him, all the bad stuff, took it back, did it, took it back, did it, and then roped her audience into a discussion about whether or not it was abusive. It's abusive when she was mad at him. It's not abusive when she's not. He struck high. Why? She's not even with her looks. She's sweet as pie. I don't know why he would even. But there was other creators too. Small channels. Like, Chantal's got, big money coming after her. Natter can't even get a reaction from the budding community. You make a video and 10 people watch because no one cares what he's doing. So, those flicked men. Why is she shocked they run? She doesn't get it. It's tantamount to wearing a mask. If you're going to alter your face so much that it would lead... We're not talking about dim lighting and a little extra makeup or something to kind of ease it up a little bit. It's talking about wearing a freaking mask. And I mean, if it makes you feel better to look better, I guess you don't have to use as much makeup or anything. But there was one that she had posted this. It was so unbelievable. Her jaw... I mean, blacked out. All we had was this. And then the face was pulled in, and the neck was pulled in. She doesn't... What do they call this part? A décolletage? Is that the right word? Wrong word? The one who told us if I could just get in his house. Exactly, Erie. Exactly. Excellent point. Body dysmorphia in reverse. It is dysmorphia. She thinks that she... I can't say that. She thinks she looks different than she does. And I think she probably feels better looking at herself with filters above other stuff. Hey, Deborah, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for being here. The waddle. Now, I got a waddle, okay, because I used to be super fat, and now I'm just a little fat. So I have the waddle. Plus, I just turned 40. I mean, my body's going to go to hell anyway. But I have this, but it's, more or less skin because there's about yay much fat between it, you know? Gonna be chilly. She'll have to bring back the turtleneck, so the ones you pulled up over her nose, practically. Yeah, the hottest of all of them. But the distraction goes from this one to this one to this one to this one. I'm going out with a guy. I'm not going out with a guy. A guy is taking me for dinner in Montreal because, you know, whatever. And then he doesn't show. I think he's married. He's one of her many, many men. The men of Blanche's boudoir. So, the fashion show. I missed the date on that. The fashion show is probably coming up. Do you think she'll diet for the event? Someone will get it, Irene. Somebody will get it. My sick brain loves her turtleneck styling. Chins, you know. None of us have every man wanting us and claim to be hot. If you're hotter than 90% of us, how come you can't get a guy that you can't buy into the country? You know, there was one guy, she said, who was local, lived in Montreal, and he was and she wouldn't say if he was white, so he's not. And not that it matters, but it's beyond it just being attraction to foreign men. She's attracted to men who have a very limited vocabulary in English. That's manipulative. That creates a power dynamic as much as paying for everything, paying for the hotel rooms, buying all the party favors. You know, it's have this guy think kind of me. I can get away with being this fat as long as I'm subservient and lets him bleed me dry of money. So, yeah, the cops pull her over to give her a compliment. We couldn't help but see you driving, balancing a taco on your steering wheel. And we just thought, man, there's magazine cover material. Like, hey, pooping right now, how are you? Reverse body dysmorphia. Yeah, it's still distorted. She thinks she looks different than she does now. Usually it goes with folks who are maybe underweight, and then it goes into them being thinner. And they, like, I've dealt with a lot. You can't go by me. But it's different to put it out there like that. The other models will be at 5'2" and 400 pounds. She should be grateful they even want her to be in a show for anything. So, identify the arm before fitting. Oh, no deodorant before the fitting. That's gross. That goes back to my whole, she's not gross because she's fast. She's gross because she's gross. You know, she thinks she can tie it all together on the bad stereotypes of obese people, but doesn't want to take any of the other ones. So, they're men just like Nader. Or they are Nader. Or they are him. And they have a cutesy name. But he's still in the mix. And like I said, absolutely believe she's buying groceries. Enough of Chantal. But love you and Mark. Thanks, Deborah. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. The Rock and Rondi fashion show is... What do we say something comes up? She's not 400. She's 342. Yeah. I'm going to be 39 for the next 20 years. I mean, you can lie to yourself all you want, but you're not fooling anybody. Yeah. The word colored is dated to the point where if you're not using current language, it's bigoted. Like, times change, words change, things that people get pissed off by change. I had a fight with my ex one time. XXX. You know. 21st, I'm moving and I'm mentally unwell. So I can't go. Yeah, she's gonna, like, run over the lease and squat because she had a long night last night. So she can't get up and move. She talked about, as far as moving, getting the movers. So she defends Nader, yet she cusses Dee Dee's existence. Exactly. Dee Dee's not the one who took her man. Nader's the one who left. He seems like he can be pretty stubborn when he wants to be, when he wants something. So if he had any interest in her being a guest in his house, we would probably have an idea of it. She's an idiot for buying them food. Do you think she can make a channel if she lost her channel with no admiration? Well, if she wasn't as gross, she'd be broke. I mean, there's that. Yeah, the Bopsy twins, Cham and Chantal. They walk alike, they talk alike. Da, 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 da. So, we talked about her men's in them, her filters, her moving, movers, I think is the direction she said she's going to go. She's going to get everything piled into the middle of the room and just tell them to throw everything out. To hear her tell it, she dumped him. She's dumped everybody. She wanted better for herself and needs to go work on me. And then they call 20 minutes later and she goes back in yesterday's clothes and no deodorant and wonders why people stop her at the door and say, get a bath. Even Natter, who lives a rather unsavory life of his own, demanded hygiene. So the groceries are a trade-off. Someone suggested, groceries this way, and then, the party favors would be a trade-off. She'd bring food, he'd give her that. She did have a couple moods this week that were not just edibles, and you don't need to know anything about addiction to look, and it's not there. In the beginning, Dee Dee didn't even say a word. Chantal came for her unprovoked. I agree, baby. She did. She was confined to do her thing. Dee Dee got sucked into probably being more of a player than she thought she was going to be. Anyone else would have known better, especially having your name on Chantal's channel. Anybody else would have known better. But she should have known, as a viewer, something could happen. Did you see the Reptian video? I'm only partway through the Reptian video because I was doing my video at the same time I was trying to watch. From the part I had seen, the word damning kind of comes to mind for me. A little crass. But if someone's being direct, that doesn't mean that they're wrong. Even if they're being a little smug, it doesn't always mean that they're wrong. It doesn't cover being wrong, but... So, Ms. T reacts. Ms. T, I like that. Hello, how are you? She found so much weed cleaning. Yeah. I mean, she probably loses it. She buys flour and then loses it somewhere. She gets an edible, thinks it's a fucking dot candy, eats the whole thing, and then is confused as to why she's hammered on camera. She ain't confused. Dee Dee knew Chantal more than Natter. She had a previous, so I mean, her paycheck's going to be for her this month. She cannot afford to move. Someone who lives any kind of paycheck to paycheck with no savings, it's hard to move. It doesn't matter if you bring home $1,200 a month or $3,000. So and Pete's is coming. She loses half her food down her Yes, she does. Or wipes it, little something like this, little something like that. I don't know. And why would she move somewhere more expensive? I know. She's like barely making it. Like, what if something happens to her stomach? What's she gonna do? She can't eat. She won't be able to eat on camera. Or, final tag, hello, how are you? I don't know why she'd pay more. And at this point, Pete's is just along for the ride. She must have done something to him that is irreparably unforgivable. Which I think I might know a couple things, and some of them probably aren't nice. So, it's all looks. It's all looks. They probably the villa wasn't in a bad little development. And with curtains out front, you'd never know from the outside that the inside was... So, pretty disgusted to have Foodie reacted to the news about Jen. Yeah, we talked about Jen a little bit yesterday. Chantal laughed. There was someone made a glib kind of comment about Jen, and Chantal laughed a little. And I didn't know she had any health problems. She was over 600 pounds. That alone is the health problem. She had other stuff going on, though. So, name the corn plant Flopsy Mopsy. She said in the live, I think she says she feels a certain responsibility to Pete's. Not only that, but she believes he has a disability. I guess he's not been assessed for it, but she believes he has a disability. And that's one of the stated reasons she said she's going to kind of stay with him and help him out. Makes her look very generous. But where the hell would Pete's go? I mean, it's not her problem where Pete's goes. If she said she was moving and gave notice and was looking and he didn't do the same at the same time, that's on him too. We can't all hide behind masks to say, oh, I can't do this or I didn't do this, especially if you're a person who needs some help. Group home? At least living situation. I think he does. I can't imagine what he's like by himself. I'm guessing no shower, no shave, because he deals with depression. I'm guessing hygiene goes first. Just shot. She said he did financially. She said she ruined his credit. I'm guessing he co-signed a bunch of shit. And she blew it off, including the apartment that was supposed to be in his name. Because He didn't make a lot, but apparently his credit was better than hers. His mental health was the best while working. He got worse when he moved in with her. It got worse. I mean, COVID hit, and that threw a lot of people for a loop. And I know he was working at home from that, and then for other reasons later, and then was let go. I can't imagine. Like, I have mental health concerns. Big news, tear out the front page. And I have that communication with my employer about I'm not doing well. I think I need time off. If I've been there for years, I can take, well, we have FMLA in the US. Um, yeah. Oh, the payday loans? You are broke if you're taking a payday loan. Broke, broke, broke. The time frame on paying those back is like 24 hours with 100% interest. They're like loan sharks. She used his credit cards when they were a couple, put him in debt. And for all the money she has coming in and out, do you think she maybe cleaned up some of his credit, maybe paid some bills that went to collections of hers? Pete's potential. He can do beyond living with. He can do more. I wish he wanted more than being her sidekick. I'm not going to use lapdog or punching bag because he's all of those things on various days too. But he needs work. He did better when he worked. I think that's absolutely right. I think he needs someone to talk to once a week. To me, now Chantal holds her little support group meetings where everyone pats her on the ass and said that anyone who says she's not doing well is mean and bullying and shaming and whatnot. But Pete's not doing well is different. His is actual. His plays out. We got to see how Pete's is doing. And to be busy would be helpful. To live with other people would be helpful. He seems to be okay. Well, he wasn't okay living with Chantal, but with someone else who is supportive of him. He's back in therapy now. I hope she doesn't lie about his therapy. I think he's trustworthy. I think he probably. Okay. New apartment. Yeah, well, first I was like, oh, typical Chantal. The first video was, yeah, I think she's taken some of his benzos. Just saying. Just saying. Wish the financial loss of house cards would fall. I know. She said she put him in 180,000. She owes him for life. For life. Hello, I'm a serial killer lurker. I hope you... a serial lurker. I almost said serial killer lurker. Watch the rip and see if I do find he does a second video on Foodie Beauty. 180K. Yeah. That's like if I bought and lost my parents' house like a couple times, probably. I heard 130. Anything over $200 is too much if you're going to rack up my credit. And then, I mean, if you're married, it's different. You tend to be that you trust each other a little bit more than just friends. So, hey, Kel Bell, how are you? I didn't hear 180K. Do we have a source? That's why I'd be curious because it's a lot of money. But exactly, I mean, taking any amount of money from your friend and saying, thanks for your help. I know I screwed you in helping me. But he's so docile, she probably talked fast. Like, she should sell Amway, make herself some money. She probably talked to him, and he knew that she was going to screw him over before she even opened her mouth. And as long as he heard, you'll come with me, he didn't ask any other questions. 4 years loan to an Ivy League college. Yeah, think of all the other things. She could be like a property baron and own a bunch of places. But no, she doesn't. How many years can you go without paying taxes in Canada? In the US, they catch you for audit in about 3 years. The IRS here is backed up. I was audited in 2006 for the year 2003. I made a total of $3,200 that whole year I was in college, and I got audited for it. So I owe the IRS like $130, something ridiculous. Hey, little Miss Nat, how are you? As many years as it takes you to admit it or get caught. No, 5 years, you're right, Randers, 5 years to pay off her car. And who would take payments? She could have paid that car off, bit the bullet, not too hard, and probably finished it off. Who would take a loan anyway, but finish off the loan on the car and pay it? And it would have been a done deal. And then she probably could have taken it back sooner if it was hers, and then should have bought it outright. Just buy it outright. She makes the kind of money where you can buy moderate purchases outright. Big for some families. So she could have paid it. Absolutely. Said her aunt might live with her again. Sure. Her aunt is like the thing that, like, she must be the only family member that'll still talk to Chantal. Maybe she has the same affinity for marijuana. Maybe they have other things in common. Yeah, the Kia, which needs work. You know, you don't believe she got the new place on her own. I don't think so. I think she needed a co-signer. But if anyone in her family co-signed for her, then they've learned nothing over the last years they've spent with her. Nothing. You know. And I'm not Chantal's family member, but cutting her loose wouldn't be the kind of thing I'd feel exactly guilty about, especially financially. If she makes that much money and then has to go around and beg people to ruin their credit, that's a shit move. Like, how about we take care of our own credit and be an adult and do that? You know, my credit's not great, so I didn't try to move somewhere I couldn't afford. You know, tried to find a place that would meet us where we were at. You think you can't go in and turn a nice apartment into that trash heap and no one's going to say anything, you know? And she said they don't do security in Canada. This I wanted to fact check. She paid first and last. So she says the last month of free rent is free. It's not free. You paid it when you moved in. I don't, yeah. So, drives me nuts that she's not paid off her car. I know. It's like one of the first things. Thank you, Andy, for the Canadian perspective. Thank you. She broke the kitchen floor, but that's probably a function of wheeling back and forth too, this way to that way. She'll have to pay damages. Like, we had that with our last place. I'm sure we weren't going to get our security back. We knew it, though. We had to pay first, last, and security to move in. We weren't going to get that back, and we figured, because it was beyond normal wear and tear. We lived there for 8 years, though. So if we didn't get it, and we haven't heard, I'm not surprised. But if they pursued for anything beyond that, I'd be... They can. If we left more damage than the deposit covers, they can follow. So... It was beautiful. White. This bitch thought she could live in a house with white carpet. Has she met herself? Has she watched any of her videos? Everything is just a place to wipe snot. Flopping into the chair. Now that chair... Kiwi said she never got her illegal car tags when she moved to Canada. When you switch provinces, do you have to do that? Well, I guess when you switch states, you have to. It makes sense. It's not the most urgent thing, as far as I knew. Love that she keeps playing with her tarot cards and they keep saying focus on financial security. She's going to channel her own demise anyway. Bigger, less manageable. Yeah, there's going to be a whole box room instead of a mountain. It's going to have its own designated bedroom. Pete's is probably going to live in a closet with a bucket to pee in. She used BB's address. Oh, isn't that fun? The reindeer games. Each has their own license plate. We have that here in the States, but I'm not sure of the urgency with changing it. I think it's supposed to be within whatever period of time of moving to the state that it has to be changed. Had to go through arbitration. Literally talked to the cleaner lady today and started at my place. Chantal should get a cleaner from the move to stop it. Yeah, but she doesn't want, like anything, she's not going to stop it in the middle when it's getting worse. She's going to wait till the bottom falls out, and they need a wrecking ball to get it out of there. So, love the new digs. Buy yourself a pillow. Thank you, Griff Shepherd Daily. Thank you so much for the super chat. Much appreciated. I can buy a pillow. I will buy a pillow. A nice one, too. Not those $5 ones at Walmart where you got to shove 6 in a pillowcase anyway. So... let me see. Oh, the sock accounts. We saw that. That was funny. All the people she plays on Facebook. That was another one that came out. So, she needs an evacuation services. Yeah. I mean, you want to hear a fat joke that they'll have to cut the door out to get her out? Like, that's... she'll leave it filthy and throw money at it. I think that's... she kind of has no value for money in the fact, like, for someone who... alleges to make a decent amount, like per month. She has no concept. She gives it like no value. So she doesn't mind spending $300 on somebody else or buying $500 worth of edibles. It means nothing to her. So she just throws it around. The hazmat suit. Yeah, oh my God. Anyone think it'll be like hoarders? Oh, the crimes. Yeah, the people have to come clean the blood up and everything. She can afford the weed and box. Yes. Thank you, Link. Thank you. Oh, I got the coffee one. Thank you for the sticker. Appreciate it. This is a new start. She's going to keep this one clean. She didn't, I suspect with BB, he cleaned when he got sick of her not cleaning. And that's not gendered, but she worked from home and otherwise did nothing. He had a place to go during the day. So I would think it's, even for a roommate, it wouldn't be unreasonable to, keep the place clean. They had roaches there, in their complex. It wasn't exactly Bel Air when she lived with BB. It was not the nicest place. And she had bugs one time, and she was like, oh, it's so hard. BB had to move everything into the middle of the room. What about you? You had no arms? Ugh. Shaming. Don't T-Rex arm shame. That's not nice. Hoarders is hard to watch because the people there know, a lot of them know they have a problem, and the house is like overflowing. So just grab a couple things and leave everything. I think final, that's probably what's going to happen. She'll grab her keys, maybe the cats, or she'll just let them out feral and not have to think about it again. She'll pretend they ran away in the move, something. I don't know. So how are you and Bandit and Oscar doing with indoors now? Here's a few treats for them. Thank you, Cowbell. They're doing good. Bandit's been all over the house and he's perfectly fine. He did spray one time, so he got in trouble for that. And he got put in timeout. But Oscar came out of the closet just in time and was hanging out on the bed. And now he's going from hanging out on the bed to there. Thank you again for the super chat. That's where he's been hanging out, pretty much. And he's so sweet. You can just sit and pet him, and he doesn't mind, and he blinks his eyes slow. Bandit would scratch me as soon as look at me. We have a healthy fear and respect of one another. But if we just moved, and we took on a new cat. So, things, I don't know. The lobster mac and cheese video with BB. She was going to start a diet that night, and then at 5 a.m., she was eating the lobster mac and cheese and streaming. He was getting up for work at the time. Don't tell me she didn't have time to clean a little. I don't like it as an okay childish response if you're a child with a lot of money. But, moves are expensive. One of the only things you can do to, pack your own shit. Get movers, but, Bandit and Oscar. The babies! Bandit's over here. I'd show you, but I don't know if I can get him. No, I don't think I'll be able to. Are you so glad the move is behind you? Yes. The move is behind me. I'm glad it's over. It's still been challenging moving in because we still have some issues. The cheat day when she hadn't started her diet, dying. It is expensive, and we're going through a time now in the U.S. where everything is, not just here, where everything's more expensive. I just went to a grocery store last night. We usually spend about $80, maybe every week and a half or so. Just breezing. How are you, dear? It's good to see you. Coming in on the tail end, but good that you're here. Glad to see it. We usually have the nicest chats in this chat. It's not as big, but I don't, not my style to be animated and pull up things like Repzillion. That's, he does a thorough job, journalistic type work. That's not something that a part-time YouTuber can take on. I have too much other stuff to do to spend the day on her. I even get guilt at myself on Saturdays because I am really devoting time to this woman. Oh, it's fine. We just chit-chatted. We got some general points about what Chantal's been up to. The Repzillion thing, his video was addressed. I have to watch the rest of it. So I only saw enough to get the vibe. And it's a vibe. It's a vibe. So I'm gonna have to watch the rest of that so I can have it on call for next week's coffee talk. So Mark couldn't pop in. No. He was doing stuff around the house and then was going to go out. And I think he did. I'll tell him that you guys weren't here. We'll see you tomorrow. And we'll be here for the live that night. But tomorrow night at 6. We're usually live tomorrow night at 6. That's easy. And that's open chat. This is a foodie beauty-ish chat. And the Sunday one is just open. Come as you are, talk about what you want. It's pretty chill. We've been fortunate that people with solid minds, good sentiments, have some wits about them are people who come and watch the channel. That I appreciate. Yeah, we went from 80 to, we have 25% in the cost of our groceries. I sent a drink idea, let me know. Will do, we're getting drink ideas at the moment for the wedding. We decided for booze, we're gonna do beer, wine, and a signature drink. And it's up to anyone who wants to be interested in entering to submit their idea for the signature cocktail at the wedding. And then Mark named the prize $25, $50, Amazon, something like that. So, yeah, we're getting lucky with the wedding. I live in such a backwards area that, like, nothing really ever changes prices. Tequila body shots. How fast can you be here, Jay? Shot, shot, shot. Yeah, we're gonna have a shot boy in a bikini with those what are they, test tube shots? They were real popular when I was in the club. Someone just going around, ooh it, and it was a test tube, and you'd buy it as they walked by. Stick a couple dollars in their hands and thank them. You also sent a recipe, can't wait to see what the others. Me too, I'm curious what people do. Jello shots made with Everclear. How's that for the signature drink? We'll call it the Foodie Beauty. So, provides a great chilled chat, solid minds, Jack Girl drama for mindless entertainment. There's a place for all of us. Everybody would not have a channel if nobody watched. So there's enough kids in the pool that everybody can find someone they like. Some people prefer certain styles over others. Generally, I prefer recorded video over live, but today you guys were flexible enough to go along with having a chat today, so I appreciate it. And next week, I'm going to, unless we're getting married or the roof caves in, my intention's to do a regular old video. Because it's hard to go point to point to point in a live. It's more fun to do, but it's not, when I do them as accurate, I get distracted by side points. So having one thesis and a few bullet points for the video is harder to do. My first time I ever had alcohol poisoning was Everclear. I went to a party with my first boyfriend. We knew each other 2 months. I thought I was gonna marry him. There was another guy there that he was talking to. I was insanely jealous because I was 18, and I drank about a 20-ounce glass, half Everclear, half grape juice, and did about 6 shots. That was alcohol poisoning. That was bad. Like, that's when the party wasn't over for me then, because I still drank for a bunch of years. But after, you know. I remember saying at one of the same times, too, I was splitting a bottle of 99 bananas with someone, and I can't eat banana-flavored things because of that. I was like, I'm not the one. I drink a lot. I can handle my shit. I'm the idiot at the party who can handle his shit, like Chantal, and then does a blast of meth and thinks she's gonna die in the bathroom. You know, some things are just not for everybody. Never had Everclear. You ever had rubbing alcohol? It's not. It's like vodka's sluttier sister, I guess. I know, Jay. I'm surprised I didn't either. We did trash can punch. The frats had that. The frats had trash can punch. Years ago at a Christmas party, I had red and green vodka jello shots after drinking an eggnog. Oh, no. They smell like rubbing alcohol. I had everyone has their own, challenges in life. COVID was a bitch some days because I'd go to work and the first thing I had to do was rub a handful of vodka all over me because it was alcohol they used for the disinfecting, and it was the safest and it made sense, and it's no one else's issue to deal with but mine. But it's not something I anticipated, that at every doorway for 2 years it would smell like cheap Nikolai. So, thanks, Sharon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Actually, I went to a gay bar I was hanging around with. There was a stripper on stage. Oh, 80s were a different time than we're in now. Very different time. So, all right, folks, we are almost at the hour. We've got like a minute left. Any burning desires? I feel like a kind of smoky cocktail would be a bright spot to represent. That's what I thought. We can get the kind where you rim the glass in lighting fluid or vodka and just light it up. 99 bananas cancel. It's too late, Andy. I don't drink anymore, and if I did, that'd be the last liquor I'd look for. Love a gay bar. Y'all tell me what it's like anymore. I haven't been to a gay bar in years. We only have 2. No, that's a lie. Wilkes-Barre has 2. Scranton has 1. So, thank you, Miranda. We'll take a look at it. You put charcoal in the drink? No, that's what's up. That's what's up, okay. Well, if any of you have any other ideas, don't hesitate. Send your drink idea along. You can send it to our email, I believe, SmokeySteveAndMarc@yahoo.com. So, all right. Thank you all for joining this live. It was nice to have you here. Thank you for your flexibility and last minute notices with the content lately. I didn't think getting married would be as busy, but it is, and it's like a month away, a little bit over. So Thank you guys for coming, chatting, and showing your support. Thank you also for watching. Please do subscribe. Hit the like button on your way out. You can subscribe as well. You'll get video updates and you'll know when we're live. Our Facebook, Instagram, email address, P.O. Box, all that's below as well. And thank you for watching. We'll catch up with you tomorrow. Y'all are good. Y'all made me feel comfortable. I was nervous for today's live. And I'm happy now that it's, not happy it's over, but happy it went well and it was nice to see all the friendly faces we always get. So thank y'all for watching. And this will come down for about 20 minutes and then it'll go back up. Put commercials in, add this, add that, whatever. So thanks for watching. Bye.